Welcome to Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your SmackDown results. And we got birthdays from November 28th. Eric Rowan, he was born 1981. Summer Rae, she was born 1983. November 29th birthday, Jerry the King Lawler. Zeb Coulter, formerly also known as Dutch Mantel. And you got November 29th of JBL. He was born 1966. And former WWE star Ken Anderson, y'all remember? Mr. Anderson. Formerly Mr. Kennedy, was a guest on this latest episode of the Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast, which can be found at this link here for you, which you can also check out. Anderson opened up a lot on the show, and we'll have he will also have some recaps of it on future episodes. Anderson also discussed the Academy School of Professional Wrestling, which he runs with Sean DeVary in Minneapolis. Tommy Dreamer will be also hosting a pair of seminars at school's next training seminar next Wednesday, December the 6th. The first seminar will be held from 6:30 to 8:30 for those who have had 0 to 20 professional wrestling matches. From 8:30 to 10:30 will be a second seminar for those who have had 20 plus pro wrestling matches. Participation in the seminar of your experience level is $50. You can attend both seminars for $75. You can register for either seminar go to the website, theacademyprowrestling.com/Tommy. Also note that spots are limited, and you will no longer be allowed to register once it's full. Other news going, Matt Hardy's losing streak continues with a loss to Bray Wyatt this week. Post-match Angle indicated that Hardy's broken gimmick will be coming to WWE soon, as appeared to snap and start a delete chant while sitting in the corner. Of course, off camera. Former WWE superstar Emma, real name Tennille Dashwood, is starting to book a number of indie events for 2018, as she will be available to work on February 1st after her non-compete expires. And here's her current schedule of confirmed bookings. February 3rd, Wrestle Pro from Raleigh, New Jersey versus Angelina Love, who just recently broke up with her husband, Davey. But they did have a child together, too. February 11th, from What? Wrestling in Providence, Rhode Island. February 23rd, Absolute Intense Wrestling in Cleveland. February 24th, from Standalone Wrestling in Atlantic City, New Jersey, versus Brittany Blake. February 25th, AML Wrestling. April 21st, Remix Pro Wrestling in Marietta, Ohio, versus Britt Baker. And May 5th, WXW in Oberhausen, Germany. And those are her current events for next year. That gives you about 3 months of wrestling: February, March, April. 1 date in April, 1 date in May. And if I'm not mistaken, her asking prices are $2,000. So if you want to book her, come up with $2,000, you got her. John Cena currently promoting animated movie Ferdinand in Dubai after doing promotional work in Australia earlier this week. Thus is why he hasn't been on TV for quite a while. As the WWE free agent tweeted the following from the tour at John Cena: read some #Ferdinand, played some cricket poorly and had a great time in the past few days in Sydney, Australia, until the teacher took attendance in class and I was marked absent. Also, he tweeted, "Thank you, Australia. Time to head to Dubai. at Ferdinand movie. Hashtag never give up. Variety reports that WWE Studios is expanding into scripted TV series, animation, and digital content as they look to grow the studio into a broad-based production operation. They are currently working on an HBO documentary on WWE Hall of Famer Andre the Giant, and their next big movie project will be Fighting with My Family on Paige's Pro Wrestling Family, which is being led by The Rock and director Stephen Merchant. WWE Studios is open for business with this new TV and digital initiative, said COO, owner of the company, Vince McMahon. Our new expand focus on television and digital continues to push WWE Studios as a multi-platform production company with the ability to create original content for global distribution, as we have successfully done for the big screen, said WWE Studios President Michael Luisi. We look forward to identifying key partners to work alongside us while creating opportunities to use our on-screen WWE talent in new and exciting ways. And here is a video clip of Kathy Kelly announcing that Naomi suffered a separated shoulder, cervical strain, and facial contusions in the attack from Riot Squad on last night's SmackDown. The storyline is that Naomi is being evaluated today, and they hope to have an update tomorrow, which I have not found. And I have waited 2 days for an update, and I haven't seen anything. So, as soon as I know, you'll know. As noted, Ruby Riott, Sarah Logan, and Liv Morgan defeated Naomi, SmackDown's Women's Champion, Charlotte, Flair, and Natalya after Natalya walked out on the match. The Hype Brothers are dead. You hear me? You hear me? Hashtag SmackDown Live, or SD Live. At Mojo Rawley, at Zack Ryder. Also can be found at this link. A picture of it. And that was also retweeted by Mojo Rawley himself. WWE, November 29th, news. After months of teasing a breakup, the Hype Brothers are officially no more. And this week's SmackDown saw Rowan and Harper quickly defeat Mojo Rawley and Zack Ryder in a rematch from last week. Thus, the November 20th live SmackDown from Bossier City was the same result that they had on SmackDown last week. But Mojo didn't tease a breakup on that night. As for SmackDown, had a little conversation. As seen in that video from I gave you earlier, Mojo attacked Ryder after the match and laid him out. Looks like Kalisto will be making his return to WWE 205 live on this week's show after being away last week. He tweeted the following today. At Kalisto WWE, being down doesn't make me want to leave. It makes me want to fight. The ring is home where I belong. I'm coming back tonight. Hashtag 205 Live. Soy El Rey del Air. Seguer Demostrado. Me. Hashtag Lucha, Lucha, Lucha. Hope I pronounced the Spanish correctly. Dark match before SmackDown in Lexington, Kentucky saw Ty Dillinger defeat Mike Kanellis in singles action. And from other news, Maria is pregnant and probably won't be on WBTV for quite a while. That's the same with Maurice. SmackDown opened up with a look back at last week's post-Survivor Series episode. Live from Lexington, Kentucky, Tom Phillips welcomes us. He's joined in by Byron Saxton and Corey Graves. We go right to the ring, and out comes SmackDown Commissioner Shane McMahon. Shane quickly brings up Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, saying they betrayed their entire SmackDown team. Shane says that they have no respect for the office, the roster, or the fans. Shane was looking forward to firing them until Daniel Bryan had another idea. Bryan's idea, the lumberjack match, was amazing on paper. Shane knew Bryan would end up firing them both, but that didn't happen. Shane says he and Bryan have had numerous conversations about what happened, but instead of hearing it from them, he figured we should hear it from the horse's mouth. Shane introduces Bryan, and out comes the SmackDown general manager to a pop with a orgasm chant, yes, 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 and also can be found at that link. And here's what he was saying. Bryan understands why Shane and others want Owens and Sami fired, but as someone who has been fired a few times, Bryan believes in second chances. Bryan says that they should not have interfered at Survivor Series, but Shane's temperament also gets the best of him at times. Shane mentions how Owens beat up his father, Vince McMahon, several weeks back, and how Sami interfered in his match with Owens, and how both of them betrayed their entire SmackDown roster. Bryan says we have to understand why they did those things in the name of competition, trying to grab the brass ring. Bryan sees real talent in Sami and Owens, and if they fire them, they will just end up on Raw. Shane says great. That would become his sister's problem. Bryan goes on about how Shane hired him to do this job, and he's not a yes man. He can genuinely spot talent to keep SmackDown going. Bryan needs Shane to trust him so he can make the decisions when Shane leaves. Shane says he does trust Bryan. Shane announces that Sami will be banned from ringside for tonight's Owens versus Randy Orton match, and that match will be held under no disqualification rules. Shane's music hits as he and Bryan discuss what's going on during that segment. Still to come, segment before a break, Ruby Riott, Sarah Logan, and Liv Morgan face off against Natalya, Naomi, and Charlotte again. Also, WWE Champion AJ Styles faces the Singh brothers in a 2-on-1 handicap match. And we see New Day backstage before we go to commercial, as they were walking to the ring. Back from the break, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens approaching Daniel Bryan backstage. They want the turns for tonight's match with Orton to be lifted, but Bryan tells them hell no and walks off. New Day versus Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable. Can be found at this link. We go to the ring. Out comes New Day. Tag Team Champions Usos were on commentary. Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin were out next. Gable starts off with Xavier Woods. Woods drops Gable early on and tags in Kofi for some double teaming. Kofi with more offense and a 2 count as Big E cheers him on from ringside. Benjamin gets the tag and they double team Woods to take control. As we go to commercial with Benjamin in control of Woods. Back from the break, as Gable is at it with Woods, Woods nails a big missile drop kick from the top. Kofi gets a hot tag and springboards in with a big shot on Shelton as he tags in. Kofi unloads on Shelton. Benjamin tries to overpower Kofi but got kicked. Kofi delivered a crossbody for a close 2 count. Benjamin catapulted Kofi out of the corner, but he lands on his feet. Kofi drops Shelton with a big shot and then gets fired up. Kofi delivers a boom drop. Shelton blocks Trouble in Paradise, but Kofi dumped him out to the floor. Gable also gets dumped to the floor. Woods runs the ropes and lands on both of his opponents. Suicide dive or jumped over top rope. Results on save because my internet sucks because I'm using my phone internet with a hotspot. And Straight Talk doesn't deliver on their promises. You get what you pay for, as they have been saying, unlimited text, talk, and data, but false advertised. But they're offering $55 plan for unlimited data, period. See how long that lasts. Shelton goes back in and Kofi super kicks him. Woods tags in for the assisted stomp from the top. Woods covers Shelton for the pin. As the New Day win. After the match, New Day dances as the Usos look on. And we get another video of Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, and Sarah Logan making their debuts last week. Naomi's backstage with Charlotte Flair, and they're ready to get some payback. Natalya appears and has words, but says she's willing to put their differences aside to get revenge. Next match, we get the Bludgeon Brothers versus the Hype Brothers. This link. Back with Ray, out comes Rowan and Harper as Zack Ryder, Mojo, awaiting the ring. Rowan and Harper up unload to start the match and quickly win a squash match. After the match, Ryder is interviewed in the ring and talks about how something needs to change. Mojo suddenly attacks him from behind and beats him down. Fans chant, "This is awesome," as Mojo unloads on Ryder. So it looks like Mojo's going to be heel. Maybe he could team with Heel Ziggler. Maybe they'd be called the Healers. Haha, get it? Healers. Put on heel. Back from a commercial, and Mojo is walking backstage. Kyla Braxton asks him why he attacked Ryder. Mojo says, like Ryder said in the ring, the landscape has changed. And that can be found on this link. And we see Baron Corbin hitting Bobby Roode during last week's Lumberjack match. Dr. Ventez backstage with Roode now. As Roode cuts a promo on Corbin and says he knows there's someone out there that's smarter, better, and that they will take away his United States title. Roode goes on until Corbin appears and says Roode is delirious if he thinks he's scared of him. Roode challenges Corbin to put the title on the line tonight. Fans pop. Corbin declines the challenge. 2-on-1 handicap match. AJ Styles versus the Singh Brothers. Can be found in this link. Mostly highlights. We go to the ring. Out comes the Singh Brothers to introduce Jinder Mahal. They head to the ring together. AJ Styles is out next. AJ hits the ring, but Jinder attacks him and beats him down. Jinder tells the Singh Brothers to step aside so he can have AJ all to himself. Jinder sends AJ into the ring post, causing him to fall out to the floor. Back to commercial. Back from the break, AJ tells the referees he wants to compete. AJ looks to unload, but Samir and Sunil beat him down for the double team. Jinder watches from ringside and applauds them. Singh Brothers keep up the attack on AJ and take turns with pin attempts. AJ finally fights back and drops both of them out, but the numbers game catches up with AJ again, and they take his knee out. AJ fights him off again while sitting on the top rope. Jinder gets on the apron for a distraction, but AJ kicked him in the face. Samir climbed up for a superplex, but AJ fought him off. AJ hits a Super Styles Clash on top of Samir for a double pin. After the match, AJ takes the title and retreats to the floor as a furious Jinder hits the ring. Jinder takes out his frustrations on the Singh Brothers as fans chant, "You still suck," at him. Jinder hits one of the Singh Brothers again and stands tall as his music hits. So, are we getting a Jinder Mahal face turn in the Singh Brothers? Or vice versa? Jinder turns even more heel, or the Singh Brothers turn face? Wait to see. Dasha's backstage with Ruby Riott, Sarah Logan, and Liv Morgan. Ruby reveals the group name is now called the Riott Squad. Well, she says they're not here to make friends. They're here to turn the division upside down, and she has two of the most dangerous women in the world at her side. Liv and Logan also speak before we go to commercial. And that can be found on this link. Back from the break, where you get a WWE shot from the New Day. Natalya, Naomi, and Charlotte Flair versus Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, and Sarah Logan. And the highlights from this link. We got a ring. Out first comes Natalya. SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte was out next, and then Naomi was out for her team. Out next comes the Riott Squad, Ruby Riott, Sarah Logan, and Liv Morgan, all three together. Natalya starts off with Ruby, but Ruby beats her down. Logan tags in to work over Natalya as Ruby holds her. Natalya ducks a clothesline, but Logan floors her with a big clothesline. Natalya goes to the floor, in comes Flair. Natalya walks out on her team again. Liv comes in and goes at it with Flair as Natalya leaves. Also, they leave for a commercial break. Back from the break, Flair is trying to make a comeback against Ruby. Flair sends her through the ropes into the floor. Then Flair follows and brings Ruby back in. Liv and Logan distract Flair while she's on the apron, allowing Ruby to nail Flair from behind and send her back to the floor. Flair is then brought back in as Liv takes back over control. Ruby tags back in and takes Flair back to the mat and keeps her grounded. Flair drops Ruby and goes for a tag, but Ruby stops her. Naomi tries to fight off Logan and Liv from the apron, but Logan pulls her to the floor. Liv and Logan double team Naomi on the floor now. They launch her shoulder first into the barrier. Ruby sits on Flair in the ring and makes her watch. Liv and Logan take apart the steel ring steps, stand half of the steps on one end. They grab Naomi and launch her into the steps, then stomp on her some more. They take the other half of the steel steps and lay them over Naomi. Logan catapults Naomi face first into the steps. Ruby is still making Flair watch for the ring. Ruby and Logan double team Flair in the ring. Logan drops Flair with a headbutt. Logan then slams Flair by her hair and tags Ruby back in. Flair fights them both off as fans cheer. Flair sends Ruby into the turnbuckles and then spears Liv. Numbers game catches up with on Flair, allowing Ruby to drop her for the pinfall. The Riot Squad won the match. After the match, Riot Squad stood tall over Flair as Ruby's music hits, and we see Naomi being stretchered away from ringside. Injury angle. Looks like she'll be taking a couple weeks off. Cannon breaks her backstage outside of Randy Orton's dressing room. Orton comes out, but walks right past her when she tries to get comments on tonight's main event. Back to commercial. And back from the commercial break, and the announcers lead us to a Saw-inspired edition of the Fashion Files with Breezango in the Ascension. Mr. Character appears on the screen and says they began making a mockery of the tag team division, and now it's time to pay. They have to escape this room that they're chained to the walls in before a gas fills the room. Breezango escapes, but the Ascension are left to deal with the gas. And that can be found in this link. And your main event, no disqualification match, Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens, found in this link. Highlights at least. We're going to ring out. First comes Kevin Owens for tonight's main event, as Greg Hamilton does formal introductions. And we go back to a commercial. Back for the break, out comes Randy Orton to a pop. Orton goes for an early RKO, but Owens avoided it and went to the floor. Orton followed up and goes right back to work on Owens, sending Owens into the ring steps. Orton then launches Owens over the announce table. Orton follows and continues to unload on Owens, sending him back over the announce table. Orton takes apart the ring steps and drives half of them into Owens' head. Orton with uppercuts against the barrier now as Orton slams Owens face into the announce table and brings a kendo stick from under the ring as the fans pop. Orton with a kendo stick shot over the back of Owens. Owens tries to run away, but Orton hits him in the gut with the kendo stick. Orton with more kendo stick shots. Orton breaks the stick, but grabs another one. Orton then unloads with the kendo stick shots at ringside as the crowd pops. Orton backdrops Owens over the top rope, top of the barrier. Orton then grabs a stick as Owens goes into the ring. Orton rolls out of the other side of the ring and grabs a kendo stick of his own from under the ring. Owens nails Orton and drives him into the ring post. Owens with a big follow-away slam into the barrier, and then Owens screams out and stands tall as we go another commercial break. Back from that commercial as Owens is beating on Orton in the ring with the kendo stick. Owens works Orton around the ring and covers him for a 2 count after a senton. Owens keeps Orton grounded with a headlock. Wrist hold. As Owens with more kendo stick shots for another 2 count. Owens keeps control, but Orton tries to make a comeback. Owens drops Orton with a DDT for another 2 count. Orton finally gets more offense in as fans chant for the RKO. Orton takes Owens to the top and decks him. Owens fights back as they trade shots while Owens is up on top this time. Orton nails headbutts. Orton climbs up for a superplex and nails it. Orton only gets a 2 count as fans chant for tables. Again, Orton keeps control, but Owens tries to fight back. Orton then catches Owens with a power slam, but Owens kicks out at 2. Owens avoids the second rope draping DDT, but Orton brings Owens to the floor and sends him back into the barrier for more uppercuts. Owens then sends Orton into the barrier, and he goes down. Orton slams Owens on top of the announce table. They come back in the ring, and Owens avoids the RKO. Owens tries to leave, but Orton fights him through the crowd towards the stage. Orton drops Owens on the ramp. Sami Zayn runs out and nails Orton in the back with a steel chair. The referee argues with Sami, but Sami delivers another chair shot to Orton as the fans boo. No disqualification match, remember? Owens gets to his feet before Orton. Owens rolls Orton back into the ring, but Owens is slow to get up. Orton grabs Owens and nails the draping DDT. Orton readies for the RKO, but Owens blocks it. Owens takes out the leg and drops Orton with a super kick. Orton goes up top for a frog splash. He nails it and covers for the win. It's Owens goes for the top. Winner of the match, Kevin Owens. After the match, Owens to a tall. If we go to replay, SmackDown goes off the air at that point with Owens music hitting. And we go to a recap of Kurt Angle setting up for a fatal four-way match with the winners of each match facing off for a chance to take on the Cruiserweight Champion Enzo Amore on Raw. Rich Swann was able to win the first two of the matches. 205 Live, Vic Joseph and Nigel McGuinness. Welcome us to the show. It's a preview. Mustafa Ali and Cedric Alexander versus Tony Nese and Drew Gulak, along with Kalisto versus Jack Gallagher. Tonight is the 1-year anniversary of 205 Live on the WWE Network. Out comes Owens, mic in hand with Noam Dar. Enzo talks about the Zoe train and how he provides opportunities for others to have a crack at his title. Enzo wants Dar to redeem himself for not winning the fatal four-way match on last night's Raw. He wants Dar to take out Rich Swann so he doesn't get near his title. Crowd didn't get a reaction at all during that promo. On this week's Raw, it will be Ali, Alexander, Gulak, and Nese to determine Swann's opponent to become number one contender. Noam Dar versus Rich Swann for 205 Live. Dar immediately rolls up to the outside to get some encouragement from Enzo. Enzo says he wants Dar to make sure Swann is aware he's a two-time Cruiserweight champion. Swann gets the best of Dar in the first exchange as Dar heads to the outside again. He attempts to get back in the ring and gets booted to the floor. Swann with a senton off the apron onto the floor. Action back in the ring. Swann kicks out Dar's knee. Running splash, and he heads up to the top rope. Distraction by Enzo. Dar kicks Swann's leg out from under him. Goes for 2 pin attempts. Both deliver 2 counts. Dar with a variation of surfboard submissions. Let's go though. Swann jumps all over him. Spinning kick, but Dar catches him with a clothesline to the back of the head. Pin attempt, but gets a 2 count. Dar trying to work out his knee as Enzo yells, "What are you, Big Cass?" Swann catches Dar. Phoenix Splash hits. Pin for 1, 2, 3. Can you handle? Gotta get Swann. Link of that for the match. Of course, posted by TDE Wrestling on Twitter. Total Diva Sips. Winner of the match, Rich Swann by pinfall. After the match, Enzo yells at Dar and says, "Winners are on the Zoe train." Dar asks for another shot, and Enzo says there might be not another shot. Backstage, Josh Pentez asks Kalisto about his mindset after losing the title to Enzo. He says it's torture. He's been knocked down but he's going to fight his way back into the title picture. Starting tonight against Jack Gallagher. Jack Gallagher with the Brian Kendrick in his corner versus Kalisto. Can we find it this link? Report from TDE Wrestling on Twitter at Total Diva Seps. First exchange goes to the ropes. Gallagher shows Kalisto's face, and Kalisto shows back. Back and forth, mat wrestling to kick things off with this match. Kalisto using his speed with punches and kicks that send Gallagher to the apron. Gallagher was able to slip under his opponent and throw him back to the mat. Next submission by Gallagher, who continues to keep Kalisto grounded. Pin attempt, 2 count. Straight jacket submission in the middle of the ring. Kalisto able to roll away. Gallagher goes for the running corner kick, misses, but lands on his feet. Kalisto gets a roll up, 2 count. Kalisto with a big kick. The Hurricane Runner that slams Gallagher's face straight into the mat. Solito del Sol hits, but in comes Kendrick with a kick to the head. Referee calls for the bell for the disqualification finish. Kalisto wins by DQ. After the match, Kendrick continues to beat up Kalisto. Gallagher with a headbutt to Kalisto, and the duo head up the ramp. Hideo Itami victory, showing clips from him in NXT. Backstage, Ali and Alexander jokingly taunting each other about winning in next week's Fatal 4-Way as Swan watches on. Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali versus Drew Gulak and Tony Nese. Before the match gets started, Gulak with a mic. He says Enzo looked at the two of them and thought that they could be called PowerPoint. Nese is the power, and Gulak likes to make silent points. He references Justice League. Nese is Aquaman, Gulak is Batman, and they dedicate this match to the Superman Enzo. PowerPoint presentation time, and nope. Out comes their opponents, Gulak and Alexander start the match. Crowd chants PowerPoint chant, which makes him super mad, and he yells them to stop chanting. Alexander in control of the match first. Gulak able to drop him, tags out. Nese immediately gets caught. Really hope that Drew Gulak gets a lifetime at Office 365 subscription out of all this. Hashtag PowerPoint presentation. Hashtag Drew05 Live. Also found at this link. And we get more report from TDE Wrestling, Total Diva Seps on Twitter. In comes Ali off the top rope. Alexander is back with a stomp to Nese's elbow. Quick tag rags in Ali, but Nese uses his power to slow down his opponent. Quick taunt by Nese got booed. Arm drag by Ali, who looked to tag out. But Alexander wasn't in his corner as he was yelling at Gulak. Ali does finally get tag out and barks to Alexander for not being in his corner. Gulak tries to take advantage, but initially is kept at bay by Alexander as Alexander goes for his handspring kick. Nese stops from that outside. Gulak with a shot from behind and tags in Nese. Leg drop, pin attempt, 1 count. Nese puts Alexander in a trio woe. Multiple knees to the stomach as it's time to get his ab workout in as he kicks away at Alexander. Close battle between Gulak and Alexander. Gulak looks to tag out, but Nese runs off and pulls Ali away from his corner. Alexander looks to tag out, but nobody home. Gulak kicks away at a worn down Alexander. He finally is able to tag out, and Ali goes to work on Nese. Pop-up drop kick. He sends Gulak down to the floor. Ali with a face buster goes for his partner, and nobody is there. Again, Ali heads up to the top rope. But Nice crouches him on the top rope. Alexander tags in. Since he's a legal man, Alexander has Nice up on his shoulder for the tree of woe. Big crossbody splash on Ali. Galak is able to break up the pin, but Ali tosses him out to the floor. Alexander takes out Galak. Nice throws Ali straight into Alexander, who was on the apron, rolls up Ali and gets a win. Winner, pinfall, Drew Galak and Tony Nese. After the match, Enzo was out to celebrate with his guys as Ali and Alexander yell at each other in the middle of the ring. Ali walks away unhappy as Alexander continues yelling at him. And that concludes my SmackDown and 205 Live results. Thanks again. Peace out. See you one over here. You don't know. Just call me brothers and sisters.